this is what you know. Look at what we have. Hello and welcome back to Granted Gardens. If you guys have been watching the videos, you know that we skipped a weekend in filming last weekend for any updates, and I was actually out of town for work, so I myself did not work on any videos over the last week, but Tyler was gracious enough to shoot a video himself and post it, and it included a super special surprise that he put together for me while I was away. Completely unexpected and quite a thrill. And so I'll make sure I go into detail of that when we get down there. But I think that for today, I'm going to do a full yard tour, just walk you guys through some of the old, some of the new, and get a chance to look at where the garden is. It's getting to that point in the year where a lot of stuff is starting to die back, but we've done a pretty good job, I think, with planning for our fall harvest. So we'll take a look at some of that. In addition to that, we've got pots going too. So we'll start out with a pot tour and then I'll take you guys around the yard. So since we have had the construction ending, we've been able to kind of reorganize the deck a bit. So we're going to walk you through some of the potted plants now. This guy here is a banana plant. This we received in the Granted Gardens plant swap page. If you guys are not a part of it, I suggest that you follow it. If you need the link, message me and I'll be happy to share it with you. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that page later. But this one we got from our Granted Gardens plant swap page. When I got him, I literally dug him up. He was like super tiny and he's gotten massive. I mean, just look at the size of these leaves. He's beautiful. It's been a lot of fun watching him sprout new leaves and get so big. We potted him in this pot that I got from my mom. And so he will be moving in once the winter comes. But for now, he's very happy outside. We've got some kale back here. We've had some issues with bugs, so we've been trying to combat that with some of our bug killer. We've been using 7 on these guys just because they get so bad. They get riddled with bugs, and then we don't get any harvest out of them. But we've got a lot of kale plants, so these are just the first 2. Over here, we've got more, and then we've got more along these here, pots along the side. One of the fun things that we like to do together is paint rocks. I got these really cool like paint pens that work well with rocks, and it doesn't peel or fade, so we've been working on that a little bit. Down here we've got some of our original strawberries. Now this one and this one, I believe we actually pulled up out of the ground the beginning of the summer and potted them. But we've gotten so many strawberry plants out of these guys. So these 2 also will probably come in over the winter. Some of the other ones that we have, I want to put in the ground before winter so that they'll come back next year. The skull is empty. We emptied him out. This is still our mushroom plant. So these leaves, literally you pick them off and they taste just like mushrooms. It's really neat. He's been fun this year. We've tried cooking with him, but I think that the flavor really cooks out after you cook them, so they might be better to sprinkle on just fresh. And we've got the fairy garden. This was a rehab plant that I received on a plant swap that wasn't doing too good, and I just couldn't pass it up. I figured I'd give it a shot. He was inside for a while, didn't do much. Now he looks like he's actually starting to sprout a little bit, so if he comes back to life, we'll keep him, but if not, I don't think we're gonna hold on to him after winter comes. Strawberries. This here is a tomato plant that was a sucker that was rooted that we planted in this pot. And look at this, y'all. From a sucker. So this is free tomatoes. Free tomatoes. And he's got a ton of flowers on him. So I'm pretty excited about this. I'm pretty happy that we're actually going to get somewhere with one of our sucker plants. It's doing really well in the pot. It obviously does have a little bit of disease to it. It didn't initially. When I picked the sucker, it was healthy, but now it's starting to get diseased. I'm wondering if it's just because it's so close to Romeo and Juliet and they've obviously gotten sick. Maybe I shouldn't have put them right next to them, but either way, we're gonna get some tomatoes out of it and I'll be happy. I'll be happy because it's tomatoes we weren't counting on. These down here are some of the lettuce. We planted quite a bit of lettuce for fall harvest as well. So these lettuce plants down here came from seed that we got from our lettuce plants that we had growing over the summer. So these two were also all free just from collecting seeds. This is the famous Romeo and Juliet. So we've got Juliet here on this side. She's doing awesome, and she's got a ton of fruit on her, and also she's still got a ton of flowers coming too. So we're leaving her. She's doing awesome. The Roma tomato is down here, and he's fresh out of flowers, but he's still got some tomatoes on him, so we're letting them ripen up. More kale, and then we'll swing on over here. This is our mosquito plant, so he's obviously done really well this year. He could be cleaned out a bit. I'm probably going to hold on to him throughout the winter too, just because he's doing so good, and I would be really sad if we didn't keep him. But he got big. He got real big real quick. Back here we have kale. Over here we've got basil. I'd have to double check with Tyler. I'm not entirely sure where this basil came from. Maybe it's come from the garden. I'm not sure. I'll have to ask him. And then down here, oh, we're also going to have to ask Tyler what that is. I'm not entirely sure. He's got something going up in there. It might be potatoes, maybe? I'll have to ask. Then this over here is a spicy orange thyme, which we've had all summer long. And he's just happy as all get out, doing just fine. I really love him for like a ground cover. I don't think that he would live through the winter. But if we could figure out a way to get him to live through the winter, this would be really cool to use as just like a ground cover in a garden bed. And it smells so good. These guys here are some repotted runners from our strawberry plants that I showed you previously. So they all rooted, and they're our second round of strawberries. So we'll see what happens from them. Those are the ones that'll probably end up in the ground. This is a pepper plant that we've had out here all summer. He's still got peppers coming, so we're letting him go. He's still got some flowers on him too, so hopefully those will all turn into peppers. And then that'll probably be his last round. My succulent wine rack from the succulents from Tennessee, from my grandparents' house. More kale and more lettuce from seed. Then we'll cut over here on the other side of the grill. We've got more lettuce here and more lettuce here. This is kind of cool because I had one of the purple lettuce plants, and I collected a bunch of seeds from him, but it looks like we've got a purple lettuce plant growing in here, so I'm really excited about that. All right, we'll take you down the yard. So the herb bed has just gone wild and has turned into quite a vision, that's for sure. We've been picking from everything. Honestly, at this point, I've been not picking as much as I could, but I'm trying to dry everything out and process herbs. That's almost like an every other day situation, to just like process the herbs and dry them out. So we'll take a look here at the herb bed. Look at this. If you guys have been with us since day one, going back and looking at the videos from day one when there was just these little tiny plant sprouts and it was just a big open bed, you would never imagine that it would have gone this far. A lot of things are bolting. They've been bolting. That's nothing new. But there's still a lot here that we can pick from. And it's been a lot of fun. I definitely am into doing this again. We love cooking with herbs, and I think I've got a pretty good process down for drying them and processing them, so we're going to keep it up. There was a couple things out of here that I did pull because I got a little bowl going for a winter indoor pot garden. So I have some chives, some onions, and I think basil in there, so we're going to keep a little bit going throughout the winter, but the majority of the stuff here in the front is probably going to die off through winter. Hopefully the way we planted it on purpose was that the majority of the stuff in the back will come back next year, so we'll be able to hopefully get some more next year as well. Coming over here, this was a surprise gift from Tyler. I have been wanting a butterfly bush for the longest time, and we have done plant swaps with butterfly bushes a few times, and they haven't made it for one reason or another. So Tyler actually bought me one. Isn't that super sweet? Nice purple color, beautiful plant. So we planted him last week and he looks like he's doing really good. So I'm excited about this. We put him here on the side of the deck, so hopefully it will grow up the deck and we can watch the butterflies when we sit up there. Over here, more plant swap stuff. Some of these I got from plant swap, some of these I got from my mom, but they're all doing pretty good. This was that really cool green leaf on top, purple leaf on the bottom. I'm assuming that they probably aren't going to be coming back next year, but they did flower. So I'm going to try and see if I can collect some seeds from here and see if I can get some more going for next year. Check this out. We got him from a plant swap. Look at how beautiful. We got this from a plant swap with a friend from our Granted Gardens plant swap page. And literally like the day after we transplanted him, he was starting to bloom. And it's just so pretty. I love these flowers. Gorgeous. So these are the butterfly bushes that we also got with the same swap. This one here doesn't look like he's doing too good. He might not make it, but he does have this little shoot down here that's still green. So even though the big one might not make it, if we have to chop it off, maybe next year they'll come back. Similar situation over here. This big stalk is pretty much dead, but we've got this one shoot right here that's still green. So we're hoping that if we just chop them off in the fall, maybe next summer they'll come back. Let's see if we can get this guy. Isn't he cute? Hi. All right, let's take you out to the front yard. This is the same eucalyptus plant that we've had on the deck all summer long. He's huge. He's probably like, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet now. He's gotten massive. So he will also come in the winter time, but he's happy out front right now, and I think it looks pretty just having him sit over there. This is our black heart. If you follow the page, this was initially hanging in the veg patch in a hanging basket, and the basket fell apart, so we potted him in a larger pot, and then I just recently got this little stand, and he's just completely taken over. He's huge. He definitely likes the bigger pot, and he's gotten much bigger since then. We've got more kale out here and a pepper. And then this is the front cottage garden bed. The lavender we also got as part of a plant swap. Same one with the butterfly bushes. So we put lavender in the front bed. Not sure if I've gotten this one on film yet, but these are more of our strawberry runners, and I got this cool little stand. So we potted the strawberry runners and put them on the stand, and look at how big they are. They were so tiny when we repotted them, and they love it. They love the stand. They're happy to be in their own little buckets, and they are growing like crazy. You can see we actually have more runners than I could root. So we've got a ton of strawberry plants. If anyone's interested in a plant swap for them, let me know. And then I want to check this out. So I'm a little bewildered by this guy because I do not recall planting him here, but I recognize the fact that, I don't know, I must have, but I don't think I did. I don't think I did. I know I got a similar plant like this from a plant swap. I believe it was our neighbor across the street, which is what's planted in the backyard. But this guy just shot up and then he started to flower. Look at these flowers. Aren't they beautiful? It's such a gorgeous tropical plant. But I can't imagine that I planted him there because it wouldn't have made sense for me to plant him so close to the edge, but he's beautiful. I was really upset because I thought that he was going to flower while I was away on my work trip, but I got back just in time to see some flowers, and there's more coming. Alrighty, and over here we've got another pepper, more kale, a pepper, and a few other peppers. out front. And then another strawberry. You would think that with all these strawberry plants we would have had a ton of strawberries, but we really didn't have all these plants throughout the summer. So hopefully next year we'll have an abundance. But another strawberry plant. And the rose bushes seem to be doing pretty well. I have not gotten the chance to trim them up after the siding went up, so I know there's a couple broken branches, but that'll be on my to-do list this week. I'll come out and kind of clean them up a little bit, but they look beautiful. All right, now we'll take you back to the garden. So just a little background story on this. I went out of town for work, and I did not know that any of this was going to happen. This was a total surprise. Tyler did it all on his own, and I came home to an addition to our vegetable garden patch. So I'm super excited to share this. I know that Tyler did a video. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out, of him actually building it. But this will be the first time that we're actually debuting the finished product. So let's check it out. There she is. So for y'all that follow us, you should recognize the fact that this garden bed is now twice the size of what it was all summer. I'm super excited about it. I wish so bad that we didn't have to deal with winter, because I would love to be out here planting stuff right now, but there's just not enough for us to do in the short period of time before the weather changes. So here we've had our kiwi plants. They've started to grow up and kind of wrap around, so we got 2 of them here. Then this is all the addition that Tyler did. And my little garden flag. I loved this garden flag. It's a little gnome sitting on a mushroom, and it says "Namaste" in the garden, but spelled like gnome. Isn't that cute? So this is all new. He dug out all this grass, put it in a new raised bed. We'll go through and check it out now. So this was part of the original garden. We'll go through some of this. So starting over here, Tyler moved in the potato plant and the cucumbers because the deers were getting to his potato plant. He was not happy about that, so we brought him in. Over here, I did a video on this. This was one of our newest additions, some more cucumbers for fall. So they're starting to grow up the trellis. Those are our original cucumbers that were planted at the beginning of the summer. We've put in pepper plants around here. I think these are beets, or maybe these are radishes. I honestly don't remember. I put them in here and I didn't think they were coming up, and then I noticed that I'm starting to see some sprouts. Another pepper, and then a lettuce back there because I had a random lettuce that needed to go somewhere. These are our pepper plants that were originally in. I picked some of the green peppers. And then we've got Mad Hatters, which we have to show, coming along. Cucamelons growing up the back here. Sucker tomato plants, which are starting to get some tomatoes on them. These, I believe, were tomato plants from a plant swap. I have a bug problem, which I'm really bummed about, but I'm just gonna let this one ripen anyways, just because it's the first tomato to ripen on these, so I can't take it off. I'm just gonna let it go. And then over here it gets a little jumbled because we've got a lot going on this trellis, but these cucumbers were the new cucumbers that we planted for fall. Look at how big they are. They're like almost at the top of the trellis already. Definitely halfway up. And then this is where it gets jumbled because we've got this here is all cucamelon. Let's see if I can find some for you. Yeah, they're producing like crazy. They're all over the place. And then inside here, inside this cage, we've got that random cucumber that was supposed to be a melon. There we go. Got some cucumbers coming up on that. And then we've got our melon plant, which you can see right there coming along. So those are cantaloupe if they were labeled correctly. Those are supposed to turn into cantaloupes, so we'll see. But just growing wild. I don't even care. I think it's pretty. But look up here, we've got cucamelons, cucumbers, all kinds of stuff. Along the back fence, the cucumbers have taken over. I picked about 5 more cucumbers today. These are our beans. The bean plants are getting big. And the peas, these were also planted for a fall crop, and look at how big they are getting already. If you watch the video of when we planted them, they were just babies down at the bottom. Look, they're halfway up the trellis. And then we've got more kale. This is going to be the kale garden bed. We got a ton of kale in here. And then over here are more of the melons. Let's see if we can find any. There is one. Oh, there it is, back there. So we've got some melons coming in. Those should all be cantaloupes, but I don't trust what it was marked now, so we'll see. Now then over here, this is all brand new. So this was what Tyler worked on as his prize for me while I was away. We have the new raised bed that he built. And then we just took a bunch of the pots that were up on the deck and just put them in here for now. We're not filling this bed this year. This will be brand new next year, but we figured we might as well put the pots in. So we've got peppers and more kale throughout this garden bed. Back here, potato, which if y'all don't grow potatoes, you should. This is our second round of potatoes this summer, and some of them I think are already ready to pick. Got another one back here. Look how big they are. If you look, let's see if we can find any. See that one right there? A potato sticking up. So they're doing great. We will definitely have another harvest of potatoes for sure. I got these really cute hanging baskets from Plant Swap. So we have kale in there. And then our grapes, which these were here. We planted them in the beginning of the summer. We know that we won't be picking them from them until at least next year, but they were just babies when we got them, so we're really excited to see that they're like reaching over to each other. I think it's really pretty. We finally got an arch going. And then another hanging basket up here, and that's all lettuce from seed. How exciting, right? Oh, I would just love to start planting stuff right now. Tyler and I both had talked so many hours about extending this garden after what we did this summer, and how we just felt that it would be so worth it to try an in-ground garden and get another raised bed and do more arches. And I really did not think that was going to even be a thing until maybe next year, if not the year after. So this was a blessing. This was quite a surprise, and I just love it, and I'm so eager to just start planning in it. But at least we have something to look forward to for next year. So this summer has been quite an adventure, and I think every single thing that happened for being able to grow, learn more about myself. I'm thankful for Tyler for teaming up with me on it, and I like to think we had a lot of fun. It's hard to see the seasons changing because we had put so much into this and we had so much fun doing it, but at the same time, the surprise that Tyler gave me could not have come at a better time, because it provides like some excitement for next year, and I think that's really cool. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you soon.